Hey, everybody. It is Mike and Mike in the evening. I'm Mike. I'm joined by Mike, and we are here to talk about last night's live stream, which Chasing Cardboard revealed that the two Rock Dwayne Johnson autographs were legitimate, according to PSA. So, this brings up a lot of questions about everything that happened. And Mike and I thought we would just have a conversation about that. Right, Mike?
Yeah, let's do it. In full fair disclosure, obviously, if you're watching this, you know I'm involved heavily in chasing cardboard. I'm good friends with Ty and Matt and Bench Clear Media, all the things. Ty and I are partners on a lot of levels in the hobby and in content creation. And so just want that disclosure to be out there. I'm biased. I'll admit it.
Yeah, I'm not involved in chasing cardboard, but I am obviously part of hobby think tank. So everybody will say I'm biased, but I don't know any of the behind the scenes stuff. So I'm coming at this uh, without any knowledge of any of it. So I have some questions, obviously, of how things went down and what we could do moving forward with this type of knowledge.
Yeah. First of all, were you surprised that they came back real?
Yeah, I was excited because I wanted them to be real, and but I was surprised for
Why
sure
did you want them to be real?
because Chasing Cardboard is my favorite show. I don't know Ty at all. I interviewed him once on my channel, but that's the only time I've ever talked to him. But I don't know. I was rooting for Chasing Cardboard. I was rooting for the autos to be real. I'm an autograph collector, so listening to Ty on one of those videos, he was so confident. He said, "You can't listen to Beckett. I know Beckett is wrong." And I thought, Ty, come on, buddy. How can you say that? And he was right. I was quite shocked. Now, quick opinion. We'll talk about Beckett and PSA's quick opinion. Uh, but yeah, I'm excited about it. Let's talk about it. And I
Okay.
also want to encourage people, throw your comments in. I know that there are a lot of strong opinions right now about chasing cardboard and about these autographs. I'm confident that people are going to say, well, this just throws PSA's autograph authentication into question.
That's probably the first question, right?
Sure.
Is can we trust PSA? These were obvious fakes, and so how can how can we trust PSA at all anymore on anything?
Yeah. So walk me through. These were submitted to both PSA and Beckett.
No, just PSA DNA.
No, I'm sorry. For the quick review beforehand.
Yes, one of the buyers of the first one of the rock autographs that bought one originally never paid for it. There's a lot of things like, did the guy get his money back? Well, the guy never paid for it. He got the Beckett quick opinion and basically said, I don't want it. It was, you know, the bid was canceled or whatever, and the card was relisted, right? And that's when the storm happened. That's what created the, well, wait a second. We have this Beckett quick opinion that says this autograph isn't real and you're relisting it. That's a you're just trying to scam somebody. That was the gist of it. Then once Sports Card Radio got a hold of it, they submitted it apparently for a PSA quick review, quick opinion, their version of that, and it also came back likely not authentic. And so, ironically, PSA themselves said, "Yeah, we don't know that it's real." When they get it in their hands, oh, this is authentic. We're going to slab these up. So that's kind of the basic, very 30,000 foot view level.
Uh, Two questions stem from what you just said. First of all, I and many others question Ty relisting it at that point. And I say Ty, but and I know nothing about the chasing cardboard operations. I have to assume that Ty isn't listing things himself. He has somebody who does these for him. Is that and he just took the blame, I assume.
That's correct.
Yeah. That's good management.
And I'm going to end that with that. I'm not going to go into that, but yes, that's what happened.
So uh, it gets pulled down, and then Chasing Cardboard reached out to them, or the buyer who didn't pay for it reached out to them, and then it gets relisted. It goes off. Chasing Cardboard sends it to PSA. Shoot, I just forgot. I should write down my question. What does this say about PSA and Beckett's quick review?
I I don't know that they're worth a whole lot. Is just the truth of it. Is it better than nothing? Probably. Is it ironclad? You can totally count on it? Obviously not. I mean, here's literally two examples that, or at least one. I don't know which of the two rock autos were. Can't remember. There's two different ones. Both were called into question by Sports Card Radio and others, and yet again, both came back authentic. So, why would you trust it?
Yeah. Is it possible that the photograph that Jason Cardboard took of the card was just so poor that PSA or Beckett couldn't tell, or do you think that that's not legit because they both have some sort of classification that they're unable to determine?
Well, none of us know what the process is of actually doing a quick opinion. You know, what a quick opinion can't, it can look at a photograph, but it can't look at pin pressure, strokes, all of that kind of stuff that goes into authenticating an autograph. It's more than just, looking at a picture and being able to tell if it's real or not. And so I think that just leaves a lot to be desired. But what else can they do until they get the autograph in hand, but render an opinion based on whatever information they have, you know?
Yeah. So with PSA now authenticating this, after they said and Beckett said that it's likely not authentic, is it possible that PSA made a mistake now and they were right before?
Certainly. Um, we all know autographs that turn out to be not authentic that have been authenticated by PSA, JSA, you name your autograph authenticator, they've all made mistakes. No one's immune from that. Um, I have a Willie Mays picture here in my room that I know isn't real, but it's got both a Willie Mays Say Hey sticker and a JSA sticker on it
How do you know it's not real?
because I have somebody that knows Willie Mays autographs very, very well tell me it's not real. And I believe him more than I believe because of his experience with it. It's still hanging in my wall. It's actually just a good reminder. And it's cool whether it's real or not. I wish it was real, it'd be worth more money. But again, um, at the end of the day, there's nothing better than learning yourself, using different resources, using other things to determine whether or not an autograph is authentic or not, whether
Yeah.
it's in the slab or not.
So the hobby, lumping in everybody into the hobby, although it wasn't really everybody. A lot of people came after Chasing Cardboard. Um, it, it was the pitchforks came out. Do you think that that's normal and that's okay? Is that going to continue because that's what people like to do? People love the anger and the hate, or do you think people will reflect on this and say maybe we shouldn't jump to conclusions until we have official word from one of the major authenticators?
Wow. Well, the next few days will tell us a lot in terms of what types of content creator responses we get from different people, if any, but the reality is the mob mentality is hard to dissect from the human psyche. And I don't think we can get rid of that through one instance. I don't expect to hear a whole lot of apologies. We're sorry. We're not going to be getting a lot of comments saying, "Oh my gosh, we were so wrong about you guys. We are so sorry." That I just don't. People that are angry like that or want to just be in that mob, they don't. They're just going to move on to the next thing they can be pissy about.
That next thing, in all likelihood, is PSA's autograph authentication.
Right.
People are going to say it's not worth anything. That's clearly a fake autograph. And PSA even said it beforehand. And Beckett said it. I'm guessing that that's the next big thing for a lot of people, is to say PSA autograph authentication. You can see I've got a lot of PSA autographs
Right.
authenticated up here.
As
We
do I.
know,
I have
yeah,
hundreds and hundreds of them.
yeah,
Hundreds of them.
yeah. We know PSA makes mistakes. PSA, if you Brandon Stebbins is a autograph collector here on YouTube, and he got Shaquille O'Neal via TTM 18 months ago, maybe now, right when Shaq started doing TTM again, and he sent them off to PSA DNA, and they got authenticated. And then PSA DNA realized that they were ghost signed, and they stopped authenticating these autographs for some reason, even though they were authenticating them before. So we know that they make some mistakes, but what's the percentage? 98, 99% success rate that they're correct on,
Sure.
at least.
Yeah. High 90s, no doubt.
Yeah. I fully believe that these Rock autos, and we're still calling him the Rock, even though he is Dwayne Johnson, but fully believe these Rock autos were thoroughly investigated by PSA, because I'm guessing they knew the controversy and
I
they wanted
doubt
to.
it.
You don't think
Honestly,
so?
I doubt it. I wouldn't think so. There's gonna be a lot of people that speculate that as well, that, Ty and I know somebody at PSA,
That
and
you
we,
manipulated it?
yeah, we, slipped them an extra, Benjamin to get them to authenticate these. And that's just not true. We just sent them in just like anybody else would, literally just, in fact, Ty had never done a PSA DNA submission. So I had to help him through the form to show him what to do to send it in. So we have a special in with PSA DNA to get them to authenticate these, just to save our reputation. Their reputation's a lot more valuable than ours.
Yeah.
Why would they do
I was not alleging that you influenced your way into them, just that I think there's a chance that they were aware of the controversy and they took extra special care to be sure, potentially.
Well, if you followed the story and you know where Ty got them, the collection in Tennessee, where he says he got them, we actually did. Nobody knows. I mean, I don't know if I should be saying all this. We did a lot of homework on the back end of, where did these really come from? Tell us where these come from. We did some further investigation and felt even better about the provenance of the autographs. So Ty was extremely confident in their authenticity.
Hmm.
And the question becomes, do we have to make all of that public? Like the stuff we do behind the scenes, the stuff we did to take care of the original buyer who never paid, that became incredibly bitter over that and makes, crazy comments and stuff now. Now he looks like an idiot, because
Have,
he could have had a rock auto for $60.
yeah. So have you spoken with this guy now that you know it's a legit auto?
No, because we haven't. Not that I know of. That would have been Ty, but he hasn't commented recently on any posts. I think because I blocked him on my channels, but I got tired of the same old crap, basically.
Hmm.
And it's just funny to see now. Again, I don't think he would apologize. I don't think anyone out there is going to be, groveling for forgiveness from us, because honestly, there's nothing to forgive. They're allowed to have an opinion. We're allowed to have an opinion. And that's where I think the hobby, at least in the content creation world, content consumption world, is, I don't know, it's kind of unfair, but at the same time, we put ourselves into it. So we're subject to the good and the bad, and we have to be ready for that.
I'm sure you don't want to speak for Ty, but what do you think could have been done differently, looking back on it now with all the benefit of hindsight?
Well, sure. I think the easiest solution would have been not once you got the BGS quick opinion submitted from the original buyer, take a second. Hey, let's maybe send these off and do that then, instead of having it go up a second time, having to take it down, creating the controversy. And I'm that would have been probably the best way to handle it, but not perfect. He's not, there was a mistake made. He's admitted that multiple times on video, and yet people are saying that he has not accepted that responsibility. And yet I think it's clear as day that he has.
Yeah, I think what people had a problem with was that he still believed they were real, which
Turns out he had good reason.
yeah, in retrospect, he was right. But I saw a lot of comments both on Twitter and on his YouTube videos saying, "Why don't you just admit that they're fake or that you're a scammer or whatever?" And then it created this whole kind of uh, subgenre of sports car videos. Like Sports Car Dad did a video on how autographs, unauthenticated autographs, should never be sold. Now, he backed off on that. I spoke with him. I did a video on it myself, and he did another video where he backed off on that. He said he acknowledged that there's a lot more nuance to it, but a lot of people believe that autographs that are not authentic or not have not been authenticated by one of the three major companies should never be sold. What do you think about that?
Ridiculous, impossible. It's just impossible. I buy unauthenticated autographs all the time, and I I've been duped before. I've bought stuff that turned out to be not real. I've bought stuff that I was certainly had questions about. In fact, recently I bought a Hank Aaron on a Dick Perez item that I was thinking it was his wife's signature, but I didn't have my reference with me. I have a book, especially for Hall of Famers. I'll pull it out and show you. That's what she said. Baseball Hall of Fame autographs. This is by Ron Kirchen. In this book are exemplars of every Hall of Famer. It also shows you, for Hank Aaron, for example, it'll show you this is what his wife's signature looks like. It's pretty close. And when she would sign things for him through the mail, requests and things, that is a well-known thing. I thought it was signed by her. I bought the item, sent it in. It was rejected. I went back to the dealer and got my money back. And he told me, he said, "Hey, if it comes back not real, let me know and I'll give you your money back." And sure enough, he honored that. I also think when you asked about what Ty could have done better, I think if he put in the description more disclosure of, hey, we don't have any authenticity on this. It should always be assumed on eBay, caveat emptor.
Yep.
Like when you put an autograph, when you go buy an autograph, to say you can go both ways, and I can see it both ways. Is it on the seller to be as disclosing as possible? Sure. Is it on the buyer to carefully inspect and make a determination of their own belief on its authenticity? Yes. So it is there's parts of responsibility that lie on both sides of that transaction, right?
Absolutely.
It's not just one or the other. It's both.
Yeah, and I did my
And at the end of the day, if you don't like it, don't bid on. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, sorry, your internet went out again. So I did a reaction to Dustin's video a couple weeks ago where I said, that as the buyer of an unauthenticated autograph, take some risk. I bought a Willie Mays index card autograph for $5. Am I pretty sure that it's his wife's signature? Yeah, but it's worth it. It looks really good. It's worth it. I'm going to send it off to PSA DNA to see if it gets authenticated. And I think that's worth the risk for a Willie Mays autograph. But you should know what the autographs look like. And there is definitely risk that you're assuming there.
And what I have a problem with, and here's where kind of the rubber meets the road on this issue in a lot of ways is people think that Ty was intentionally trying to put one over on people and intentionally trying to sell an autograph that he clearly knew was fake. He had no idea, other than from the research that he had done, the story he had gotten, that he thought they were real. And so, to think that he would do that intentionally, I do know that there are people out there intentionally selling autographs they know are fake. Nobody wants that in this hobby. But to say that Ty falls into that category, I think, is a complete misjudge of his character and who he is as a person. And, we all, if we knew it was not real, we would not try to sell it. Nor should any autograph hold. If you have an autograph and you have any question about it, send it in. Otherwise, if you know it's not real, don't sell it.
Yeah, I mean, I see on eBay fairly often sellers who sell unauthenticated autographs, and they say, I cannot vouch for the authenticity of this autograph. Or they might say, honestly, I'm not convinced that this is real. But you leave that up to the buyer to decide sometimes, as long as you disclose that. But I don't think Ty needed to do that, because he had done all that pre-work, and he was confident and he was right.
Yeah. So what do you think the hobby reaction is going to be over the next few days?
Oh, it's going to turn. I think that there will be some doubt about this, and then there will be a lot of people saying that PSA DNA, PSA's autograph authentication is bad. There's not going to be a whole lot of acceptance of the results.
It'll be interesting for sure. It'll make for a fun few days on YouTube, right?
There will be a lot of people who accept it and agree with it, because they were the people who never turned on chasing cardboard. But there are a lot of people who are looking for things to get upset about. There are a lot of scams in the hobby, and so there are a lot of people who are looking for that next scam. We just saw this past weekend the whole card porn situation.
Yeah.
You might not even be aware of this since you were just off surgery.
I am aware of it. I watched your video about it. Actually,
Ah,
that's what helped me learn what was going on. So thank you
nice.
for being so informative.
Yeah, it's just, it feels like it's every day where there is a legitimate big scam. But over $66, I don't think a company with a brand like Chasing Cardboard is going to do anything like that.
Certainly not intentionally. If they would have
Exactly.
come back bad, we would have owned that too. By the
Yeah.
way, that was our stance as soon as we decided to send them off. Was all right. Let's see. We don't know. We have all this information that helps us think what we think, but at the same time, we are willing to accept if we are wrong here. But again, everybody wanted us to do all this stuff beforehand. Nobody knew. We didn't know yet. We had not sent them off. There was nothing to talk about. It would only be speculation. Even if we were to go on to live streams or do the other things that people were challenging us to do, it's like there's nothing to talk about yet. Let's see what happens when they come back. And we decided to do a live stream to handle it.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to see what people say. Obviously, we're recording this before the flood of videos comes out. But what else? Anything else you want to reveal? Anything else you want to say about the whole situation?
No, I mean, it was funny when we were excited to see the results. And, and the truth is, one of the autographs wasn't real. It was the Ty Cobb, came back questionable authenticity in 4, which is, you know, and actually, I would have bet that one was real based on my experience. And people will say, oh, it looked the same. And it was just like the exemplar on the PSA website, and it had the same date. And I argued privately to a lot of people. So, did you watch Quarterback?
I haven't.
Okay, well, Kirk Cousins, quarterback for the Vikings, sat down and he started signing all of his he took I can't remember what day of the week, maybe Tuesday morning or something. He sits down and he answers all of his TTM requests, and he's signing them all the same day. Ty Cobb got a lot of TTM requests. It wouldn't shock me at all if you happen to find 2 autographs from Ty Cobb that have the same date on them. If he was sitting down on a Sunday or whatever day it was and filling out, let me sit down and do this for 2 hours, and knock a lot of these out. That's not uncommon. Josh Hamilton used to do it over a week in the off season. He'd take all of his TTM requests, and he actually there was video on this. I can't remember if it was through the Rangers or something back when he was with the Rangers. They showed him sitting down with these, the mail crate things, and he had just tons of them. And he sat down and he just started signing all the requests, and he would do that for a week in the off season and get all those knocked out. So, meaning I could make a legit. It did come back not questionable authenticity, which is the technical. Doesn't mean it's not real. It just means they can't say it is. They're not confident to say it is. But to think just because the date was the same, that's the giveaway that it's not real. I could make a very valid argument that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Will the Thrill Clark, TTM requests go through the Giants, and then I assume once a year or twice a year, he signs all of them, because if you look at his sportscollectors.net, he had about 100 come back from the last 6 to 9 months in the last couple of weeks. Everybody just got a flood of Will Clark autographs. It happens. It's fairly common.
Yeah. So, I hope people will take this as a lesson to try to not jump to conclusions, try to not fall into that mob mentality. We don't need thank yous and apologies and all of that. We're going to keep doing our thing the way we've been doing it for the last, year and a half. And, we got a lot more collections we're going to see and episodes we're going to be putting out. So our biggest thing was, especially at the beginning of this, was, okay, we can let this be a downer, which it was for a little bit. Honestly, we were, it hurts when people just start trashing you. That's no fun, right? It
absolutely
genuinely hurts. But at the same time, we thought at the end of the day, the best response we can give is just go do another kick-ass video. Just go do another great story. Go tell another awesome story. And I think we've done that over the last few weeks.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes have been pretty awesome. The guy with the antique Bible collection and the just insane vintage baseball collection. Curator. I like that.
It's a wonderful definition of who Ben is as a person. Great guy. He's actually coming here to my house next week. So, we become friends through meeting him through that episode. And I really respect the way he collects, the way he curates things, and his collection's the best I've ever seen. So
yeah,
that was a fun episode. And we've got a lot of other great ones in the hopper already. So there's more to come.
If you ever come into the Northeast, I want to be part of that visit.
Well, I appreciate, there are plenty of people that have been supportive throughout the whole thing. Way more of those people than the haters, honestly. And, you kind of hang your hat on that, hey, there's still people that, don't give a crap whether or not the rock autos were authentic or not. It wouldn't have changed their opinion of us. So appreciate those people. And again, you can't please everybody, no matter what we do. Yep. This will not please everybody. The fact that they came back authentic, it's not going to end it. It's not going to stop the controversy. It's not going to stop the. It'll be funny because a lot of people will even say, "Well, Ty's an idiot. He should have known from the beginning to get them authenticated that they'd be worth so much more money."
And that's fair. I think that's fair. What does Ty think about that?
Well, if you think
it takes time,
it takes time. The reality is, we're burning through hundreds of thousands, if not millions of cards constantly. The collections that were bought just in the last month, there's so much volume there. You're looking, okay, what's my time worth? Is it worth messing with all of this? no, we need to move cards because next week we're going to get another collection. And the week after that, we're going to get another one. And we have to move through these cards. You can't authenticate everything. You can't grade everything. You can't, it's just not possible given the volume of stuff that's moving through the chasing cardboard coffers. Right. So that's the simple answer to that. Whether or not people believe it or care, I don't care whether you believe it. That's just the truth. That's what we're doing, what Ty's doing. And too bad if you don't like it. That's just how we're doing it. You may do it different. Good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, I bought it. My first collection I bought was a bunch of junk for $350. So I don't have any valid criticisms.
But you see if you watch the show, you see the amount of cards we're dealing with. It's on a very large scale.
Yeah. Massive.
So it's just different. We're not trying to make every nickel we can on the cards. You know, we're not trying to maximize the value on every card. We're trying to maximize value through volume. That's it. Just
Yep. Quantity over quality.
So, exactly. Well, that does it, I guess. Is that we're out of time for this edition of Hobby Think Tank?
I think so.
Please, guys, comment below. Let us know what you thought about the live stream last night. Would you know? What do you think? We'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
See you guys. Keep collecting.